Welcome back. Now that you've learned about the building blocks of SwiftUI, let's get started with making a full-fledged tab-based app. So first of all, what's a tab-based app? You've probably seen tab-based apps, especially on the iPhone. There are many social media apps that are tabbed. Other tabbed apps on the iPad will include YouTube. In the clock app, you can see a world clock, an alarm, stopwatch, and timer. And the Books app, where you can see what you're reading now, the library, the bookstore, audiobooks, as well as search. I guess the most obvious one is the App Store, which is tabbed on both iPhone and iPad. On mobile devices, tabs are a way of presenting a limited number of different views or different functions in the same app. The keyword here is limited. You don't want to have 20 tabs at the bottom of your screen because that would be quite difficult to navigate. So if you look at your settings app, for example, this is not organized in tabs. It has so many sections, and what this is called a master detail view on iPad, and on iPhone is organized in what's called a navigation view. So don't worry about those for now. These are terms you'll see more often when you dive deeper into app development. So let's go back to our app. What I'd like you to do is to go download the About Me app. You're going to go down to More Playgrounds, tap on See All, and grab this thing called About Me. So tap on Get. It should be a pretty quick download. And what that does is it gives you a brand new playground to work with. Tap on it, and you will see that there's a bunch of stuff going on. All right, so just like Get Started with Apps, it's got a tutorial. So there's these little books. For those of you who have actually tried creating your own SwiftUI app, you'll notice that there isn't this tutorial button in there, but it's present in all these little tutorial SwiftUI playgrounds that Apple has provided. So let's take a look. In this walkthrough, you learn the basics of using SwiftUI to display information across multiple tab views. And you can see over here, you can even experiment with this right here. There's a Home tab, there's a Story tab, there's a Favorites tab, and there is a Fun Facts tab. And there's a little button over here. You tap on it, it will show you a random fact. Ooh, so random. Okay, so let's tap on Learn More, and this will bring up the tutorial. And it says over here, you're going to change all the data inside this to be about any topic of your choice. Okay, and while you're doing all this, keep in mind what you've learned about stacks and modifiers, and you're free to go change things like colors and layout and font sizes as you go along. All right, so we're going to learn some new things. Let's try it out. Tap on Start Walkthrough to get started with the tutorial. So the first thing it shows you is the Content View page. In a SwiftUI app, Content View is the starting point of your app. It contains everything that is shown to the user at the start, and it might contain other views. In this case, Content View actually starts off with something called a Tab View. Okay, so you've seen this body over here from before, and the body contains the main user interface. And down here, what's being highlighted is called a tab view. Capital T, capital V, followed by curly braces. Notice that the tab view seems to contain 4 different views: Home View, Story View, Favorites View, and Fun Facts View. And you're going to notice that these 4 views correspond exactly with the views on the right: Home, Story, Favorites, and Fun Facts. Let's tap on Next to see what's next. And it says here, when you want to make a tab, you have to create an instance of the view you want to display when someone taps a tab. So you can see over here that they've highlighted Home View for us. Let's first try deleting this entire view. So put your mouse over here, right? You can select this entire thing, press delete, and let's see what happens. Hey, it completely disappears from your app, and it switches the first tab over to Story View. Okay, so remember, if you want to undo, you can always do Command Z, or if you're using an on-screen keyboard, there is an undo button in the top left-hand corner. Okay, another thing you can try is commenting out, which is what the instructions tell you to do. Now that you've selected these 4 lines of code, you can use this keyboard shortcut, assuming, again, you need to either bring up the on-screen keyboard or use a hardware keyboard. Press Command /. So Command /. If you don't know what a slash looks like, hang on one second. I'm going to type it on my screen. And there you go. That is what a slash looks like. The moment you type Command /, it will add these 2 characters / in front of these lines of code. And what that does is it removes this code from Swift, but it's still visible to you as humans. So this code right here is visible to us as humans, as you and I are, I think. But it's invisible to computers. So, take that, computers. Thought you could rise up and take over? We have comments. That's not what they're for. The idea here is that you don't want to delete the code because that's a little bit dangerous. You just want to comment it out. You just want to leave it there. And if you want it back later on, okay, I changed my mind. You can just remove the / and you can have it back. Okay. How do you get your code back? You could manually go ahead and delete everything on these lines, or you can just select these lines by double tapping somewhere, and you get these selection handles, and you can press Command / again, and they will come back. Okay, so those are comments. Finally, over here, it tells us about this tab item modifier. Okay, this tab item modifier essentially contains the information on what you want to display in the tab bar at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so you can see over here, label home and system image person. Okay, what if we want to change these, right? I don't want to call this home. I want to call this me. So I'm just going to look for the word home and make sure you leave the double inverted commas, but change the word home to me. And there you go. It automatically changes over here to me. Okay, what if you want to change the icon, right? You want to change the icon from person to something else. What's an icon that describes you really well? First of all, where are these icons from? Apparently there's an icon for person, there's an icon for book, there's an icon for star, and hand dot thumbs up. Where are all these from? These icons are from a library of icons made by Apple called SF Symbols. There are thousands of icons that are freely available for iOS developers to use in your apps. So how do you actually browse these? Let me show you. You can tap on the plus button over here, choose the third icon, the one with the star, and these are all the icons that you can use. Okay, so the key thing here though is you can search for an icon that you want. When you find the name of it, you can just make note of the name and type that name into the inverted commas inside system image. Okay, so let's go take a look. What describes you might be perhaps eyes. Okay, I'm not sure why my caps lock is on, but that's perfectly fine for now. So I'm going to grab this one called eyes, which is very amusing. So I'm going to go over here, change system image to eyes, and there you go, right? My icon now says me with eyes as the icon. There's one more little thing I'd like to let you customize, and that's the color of the active tab. Right now, the active tab is blue in color, which some of you might like, but you can actually change that. To do that, you can actually tap on the sidebar and tap on About Me App Settings. So tap on that. And you can see over here, there's a bunch of different accent colors that you can choose. Okay, it starts from red and goes all the way to red again. All right, so let's say you want this to be orange. It's going to make your accent color into orange, which means that your active tabs will be orange by default. So let's tap on Done. And let's go take a look at our app preview. And there you go. And now I have this nice orange color that represents my app. If you look at Apple's default apps, you'll notice that each app has its own default accent color. So this orange color reminds me of the Books app, and the Notes app will be yellow, and I think some other apps like Reminders and Clock might have red or something like that. So try it out. These are all little design details that Apple designers have put a lot of thought into so that you can really identify where you are when you turn on your iPhone or iPad. That's it for this chapter. Feel free to experiment, but before you move on to the next video, please ensure you still have all 4 tabs because we're going to customize all 4 of them. Okay? Thanks so much. See you soon.